So what up, everybody? Of course, we'll probably see the chat catch up like always. I have no idea why it decides to do that. Last time I had it working fine for some just out of the blue, and then the other day it just decided not to, and I think I really give up on the chat either working or not. So I guess OBS has its issues with the chat, apparently, from what I've found. See, there it goes. Watch, then it'll start doubling up. All right. So yeah, everything's a rib, as I said earlier. Yeah, a few of y'all caught on. That's the. I thought it was a cool picture. And when I passed by the other day, and they had it a little partially built like that, I knew they were going to be building it, and I said, "Oh, I got to go get pictures of it." And it just turned out once you got kind of close to it, it looked like some big satellite dish of some sort of ray gun thing going on. So I just knew it had to be done. So, what's up, Will? Nice of you to tune in. I got another Will and Will. Ah, there you are. The motion not working great. Okay, with that sunset. Yeah, those rules are kind of tricky for that sunrise and sunset thing. And like I said, I started to go that way, but then I had to mix in if my alarm state was on or off, and then whether we were home, and that just got to be too much. So I ended up just doing it in Node-RED. So, but yeah. Let me see. Let me pull up a while. I'll drag a thing across. Give me a second, and I just don't want to see all my kid pictures and stuff. But um, so this is actually what it really looks like, from further away. So, so yeah, it is actual. I haven't seen any like design photos or anything. I'm assuming it's just one of those ball type looking things um, with the single pedestal, and so those are just just not really any type. But it looks cool with the little crane and the jig pole in the middle of it. So, but yeah. So I know, has any Zigbee fans here? I know I was never much of a Zigbee fan. I did. I started, for the ones that don't know, I started with Smart Things, and so I did have Zigbee and Z-Wave, and I even had Z-Wave before that with a ADT system, and I had a lot of issues with Z-Wave, and I come to find out I tried it with Smart Things. I still had the issues, and then I tried it with a USB thing. I still had issues with Home Assistant, and I just have a lot of interference on the 900 megahertz stuff. And so Zigbee doesn't work too bad, what I found. And the only thing I had some Zigbee bulbs. I just found the delay was kind of slow on them, even with Home Assistant. These were some Singlad bulbs, and they were just one room over. So I never really got into the Zigbee stuff. And of course, I got into the ESP side because I had Unify for probably, was it 20, probably 3 or plus years now. And so Wi-Fi has just worked great. So then when I found the ESP chips and Tasmota and ESP Home, it worked great. But of course, the battery powered ones. Yeah, Zigbee is 2.4. I forgot what channel. I remember seeing like a Zigbee. Yeah, there's like different frequencies, and they fit in with the. See if we can pull this picture up. Yeah, so they fit in with the Wi-Fi channels, and I remember reading that, and I don't know how you exactly set the Zigbee channel like in Home Assistant. You probably know more than me, some of you Zigbee pros, and it's I know that you tried to put them, like if you're doing, typically you want to do that 1.6 or 11 on the 2.4 gigahertz side. Now, of course, you can't get your neighbors to follow that. And a lot of the routers and stuff are all on auto now. So I guess you could set your Zigbee channel in there to hope it works. I just went and threw mine in. Now, the one problem I had with Zigbee was my Home Assistant box is on one side of the house, and I don't have this massive house or anything, just a standard size home in a, I don't know, suburban American city. But if I tried to put something on the other side of the house, and it was, several rooms over, it wouldn't work. I couldn't control it or anything, or it was very flaky. And of course, I wasn't going to move my Unraid server just for Zigbee. And so this kind of fit that. And I did move the Zigbee box or the Zigbee adapter into my center of the house. And I moved stuff all around the house today and everything worked great. So I'm just catching up. Best stuff 24, 25. Seems like Zigbee support growing. Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the Zigbee channels or frequencies the same in like a mass majority of the countries? And I know Z-Wave is not, because there's like different Z-Wave frequencies in various countries. So if you haven't caught up, and I'm not going to go through this entire thing, is I did go a little step-by-step guide of how to configure the Sonal Zigbee bridge. And I do have this, let's see, hang on. If you want the link to it, and it is through ShareSale, but you're welcome to do it however you want to purchase your stuff or wherever you find it at or whatever. But real quick, the Sonal Zigbee bridge, it looks a lot like, and I don't have my other one here, it looks a lot like the RF bridge, which is 433 megahertz. And everybody I know has probably put Tasmota on it and everything, but this is the end result you get. So if you're going to do it a lot like a video per se, this is like my stuff I have in Zigbee. And I have a little Zigbee S31. There's a little read sensor. I have it on the desk. We'll mess with it. And I have this little temperature sensor. And I have it just sitting outside. And yeah, it is that humid, and it's actually was a lot cooler today, actually. So, due to that tropical front thing going on, it's actually kind of nice. It was weird to actually sit outside, and we were eating dinner, and it was at a restaurant sitting outside, and it was like 82 or 83 degrees, and me and my wife were like, "Wow, this actually feels nice to sit outside right now." So, and it was, even though it was 70% humidity, but it's been overcast. But basically, this is what you're trying to get and you're not having to do this with any type of MQTT, any YAML coding, anything like that. You basically going to put it straight into as an integration, and it's going to be as the Zigbee Zigbee home automation, but you'll notice it goes through a socket. It's not doing a USB port or anything like that. So you can already see, and I'm waiting for somebody to do this. I want to see somebody VPN a Zigbee bridge across the internet. I'm waiting for somebody to do that. That'd be interesting. See how that works. But basically, you bring it in, and this works just like inside. It looks very familiar. Like I still have my Zigbee USB stick that won't reach across the house, and it works great. Yeah, we've been eating in restaurants for a bit. They just have the 50% thing or whatever. So like every other table is closed. I do try to eat outside if we can, but it just depends on the place. So, the configuration for it is and it is getting much shorter. It is getting much shorter there. Because basically this is the, let me pull up the thing on the desk. UDM now has third party. Okay. So on the desk, if I should set my button up right. So this is the thing out of the case. And I know this it's a real simple board. There's nothing really on the back. They do label all the GPIO pins for you and how to flash it. You don't have to solder to flash it. I just use some little breadboard jumpers, and I kind of go over that. But the thing is, there on the board itself, you can see it kind of looks like another little module here. And that's the Zigbee radio chipset per se. As you can actually see the little antenna here. The antenna over here is the Wi-Fi one. And I know you're probably already thinking, well, hey, you've got 2.4 gigahertz. So yeah, you could have some interference issues. So you may want to think about that. No, I don't have, but one, well, I have a Sonal basic. I didn't connect it though. I only have 1 or 2 Sonal sensors. Other stuff I connected was just random other stuff I had. So it's not like locked to Sonal. So find my button again. So they label all the GPIO pins for you. And what's cool about it is you just go through and you got to use little breadboard jumpers, and I say how to do it and everything. But I go through just like on videos. So a lot of you veterans can be like, well, skip. So, but I kind of built this for the very new person who has never even doing Tasmota. So how you flash it, how to add it to there. But the one difference is there's a step you have to use extra putty, and you have to send over the flash for the Zigbee chipset through X modem. And yeah, I did say X modem, and that's very old school. But it's not hard. I did screenshots through it all and everything. But here's the cool thing: is Theo works fast. If you don't know who Theo is, he's the main developer for Tasmota, and he's actually working on. I did test it, but the problem is he's coding for something he doesn't have. And so you can't test your code. You got to put it out there, hope someone tests it, and then wait for it to come back. It's a very slow process. So he's actually doing it where you can just put in the Zigbee chipset through the Tasmota GUI and send it over, and Tasmota will send it through X modem and flash the Zigbee chipset for you. Kind of like doing that Portish RF firmware on the Sonal RF bridge. So hopefully in the next day or two, this guide will get about half the length. I'll cut all this X modem junk out. I'll just say go in, send your OTA file, and boom. And there's kind of 2 paths you can do for doing this Sonal Zigbee bridge. You can do one for ZHA straight into Home Assistant, or you can do another where it's more of a standalone, where you actually tell Tasmota to do a permit join, and it scans where more of Tasmota is the actual controller. And I set it up, and the guide set it up kind of for the Home Assistant people. That way you don't have to mess with doing MQTT and then making all your sensors, and it becomes a mess. Just do it through the GUI and let it roll. Yeah, there was another one, Will, I did that was cool. I forgot which one it was. It would actually do compression and send the files. You could upload and download at the same time, and then you could also chat with the other person on the other side. I'm trying to remember the name of that protocol. It was pretty cool. But so yeah, I went ahead and added. I'll go back and find this. So yeah, you can see all your once you do get it set up, and there's one little rule to put on. I put all the commands on here for you, um, and then you just add it straight into Home Assistant. I know one of the questions I've had by several people is, "Hey, can I add multiples?" Well, I don't think the way Zigbee's set up is you have actually just one controller and build one Zigbee network. And if you want to extend it, you put a router or a device that acts like a router, like a mains powered. I noticed like the little Sonal S31 when I brought it in, it comes in and says it says it's a router. Now, of course, the battery powered ones, they say in device because they sleep all the time, so they're not going to route Zigbee stuff. So, but the cool part about this is being able to put the damn thing wherever you want to put it at, and not have to tie it to something. You know, just put it wherever you want. So, I know I know Mark's talking about there's the different types of. I think maybe he's talking about different types of. I know there's not like a true Zigbee standard, but the stuff that I've added, I'm no Zigbee Pro at all. Um, it's it's pretty cool. I'm being able to add all this stuff in, and I've added in several different things. So um, yeah, I did the same thing, Will, with the different B. I wish I could remember the name of that protocol because I actually have bought that software and everything. I was gonna drive me nuts. So. Um, Yeah, you feel so yeah. It's fun times then. What's up, Frederico? They letting you out again on Sunday again? Hadn't heard from Frederico. If you don't know who Frederico is, he's also FL, and I'm probably screwing his name up like I always do everybody's. He's done a lot of the pull requests and additions in Tasmota for doing auto discovery, the button multi press, and several others, I'm sure. He even did the Tuya MCU change for me really quick to change the baud rate for that fan controller. And I know he's working on some stuff with the Tuya MCU. And the thing is, again, he doesn't have a Tuya MCU device, but he did find, and I can't pull it up because they're damn cookies. He did find a Tuya MCU emulator, and so he's able to help write Tuya MCU code for Tasmota. So that's in a nutshell the Zigbee stuff. We'll add something right quick here if you want, just to show you it's a typical stuff. Let's see. So. Oh, and one thing I do want to cover, because they did send this to me, so I guess it's the one little commercial aspect, is this guy here, and I was good to see that it was still Tuya Convert. And so they say, hey, we want to see if you want anything as GoSun. And I was like, man, the only thing I really see is the power strip. I think it might be Tuya Convert. So they sent me one, and it is still Tuya Convert. They have a black one as well. But what I wanted to do with it, if you remember, I saw my video way back. I had a plug with one button on it, and I wasn't even using the relay. Well, I saw this was to consolidate a couple of USBs and give me my plugs, get rid of my little power strip that I had sitting on my desk, plus it on my nightstand, plus I had the button for multi-press. And no, I'm not going to press it. Press once, it turns on the light on my side of the bed. I think twice it does this one, but if I do a long press, it turns on both lights in the bedroom. So I did a little multi-press thing with the GoSun strip. So it is Tuya Convert, but I did notice it does not use the TYWE3S module. I'll pull up. I took pictures of. I took it apart and took pictures of it. I'll see if I can pull it up here. I want to say it's that let's see. No, they don't even have a name on it. Let's see. They don't even have, it does say ESP825, but there's no there's no name on it. So, um, yeah, that's the first thing you got to do, man. Is just got to take it apart. So I got to see how it works. I've been I'll see how quick I can be with this story. My brother hated me. I still remember it. I had this red and black Phillips screwdriver, and I used to take apart all the toys. Now he's 2 years older than me. I took apart all the toys because I wanted to see how they worked inside. And so he always got mad at me because I would never put the toys back together because that wasn't fun. So, but so I'm not gonna stop. Oh yeah, Wildcat BBS Renegade was the one I remember that one. There was a Renegade was some cool software. Um, so back to with the Go Sun thing. Oh, we want to add. I'm gonna add the Sonoff S31. I'll show you how. If I can find my Windows. And the number one thing I remember I really loved was playing Trade Wars. That was awesome. All right. Help me out here. For integrations, I get so lost on all the menus now. Changed stuff so many times. I get so lost. Let me go ahead and go ahead and plug it in. There was another like kind of Dungeons and Dragons game it was a Mac based BBS had it. I don't remember the exact name of it though. It was like they were like one of the only ones in town that had like this Mac based BBS. What's up, Tony? Let's see. All right, so I want to make sure it would let me add. I want some hot button. Is there? I'm sure there's somebody who's done it. Some hot buttons on the. I gotta remember it's backwards. On the left of Home Assistant to get to various integrations, so you don't have to go configurations, integrations, and then scroll down. Because I still do not like the tile list. It looks pretty, but functionality over looks on this thing. I like the smaller list. I hate having to scroll. Let's see. Let's remove this device. I'm gonna pull up the console of what are you gonna show us? Look, I already showed you. I only showed you the Go Sun thing, the Go Sun power strip. So that's about. I'll show you something later, okay? If you really want to show you something. And look, the Zigbee. How much is this guy? It's got to be cheap. I'm sure it's just you order it from Sonal. Oh, it's not too bad. So you're looking at $16.90. So that's considering what you get, it's not too bad. I don't know what their shipping is right now, but so it's all about not spending the big money. What is the Zigbee? I've seen two things already. Is that the the Hill Paul? Yeah, Hill. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The dancing thing. I couldn't. So I had to fast forward. Exactly. There's some things that were good to miss. So in here, and I don't need this on you. I don't need to see. Well, let's see. So I'm not sure what this means. When you come in here And it says in the future you can change network settings for ZHA here. Y'all know what that means? What do they mean change network? Is that something change the channel number or something? It was kind of cool. This is the console of it. So where do you change those at now? I'm guess in the future it says you can change them, but how would you change them now? I'm just not a big pro on that. So the console of the ZHA module, you can actually see the traffic going back and forth. It's kind of cool. So I don't know if I'll see if I can try to split screen here a little bit. See if we can drag this guy over here or something without, well, it covers my chat up, but we'll see. I'm trying to show you how, I thought it was kind of neat once you start messing with it. All right. Yeah. What was on Tasmota? Oh no, the stuff was not on Tasmota. That was on Home Assistant. So a quick explanation. Basically, Tasmota is just really being a dumb pipe per se. I don't is to the ESP to the Zigbee chipset. So it's kind of like Home Assistant's going over your network through Wi-Fi or whatever it might be, getting to the actual Zigbee bridge here, wherever you put it at, and it just uses the chipset. So, if, for instance, if you've got your Home Assistant server in your basement, and then you've got a bunch of Zigbee on the second floor, well, then you put this thing on the second floor, and then it'll just pick up Wi-Fi, and you just have Home Assistant will hit it. I mean, hell, put it, like I say, I'm waiting for somebody to put this over VPN and put it at their neighbor's house or something. I don't know. So, yeah, it just basically what happens is that in the commands in one of the in the guide, and I did link this in the description, so y'all can kind of dig through this if you want. Is you can see right here, there's a rule that when this thing starts, it starts a TCP server on port 8888, and it does that at boot. So it starts up opens a port 8888, and then I point Home Assistant to the adapter. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm saying put it in new integration, enter it manually. You pick the EZSP, you put your socket as your IP address 8888, and you put your port speed as 115K, and then boom, it picks up the Zigbee coordinator, not controller, I guess I'll say it correctly. That picks up the Zigbee coordinator and rocks and roll. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was really just kind of mind blown for me at that point. I was like, wow, so we don't have to do any, and I do, I know I love MQTT, but I was like, this thing just hooks in and just does it automatically. I was like, no way. And so I had to try it myself. And so that's what it is. So yeah, so basically once you come in, so I want to watch I'm going to hit plus to add a new device. And I think I got to hold down the button on the S31 for like 5 seconds. Yeah. And you'll see the stuff start going behind me. The back and forth, I guess, from Home Assistant scanning the network, and boom, you can see it picks it up. Go ahead and pick the area. If it'll let me pick the area. And we'll give it a different name. And that's it. And we should be able to see it in devices now. And I'm sure I screwed up my GUI because the name's different now. But there's the Sonal S31. it shows as device type router, and of course you can see the RSSI is -20. So because they're literally sitting next door to each other. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't think you're gonna be able to get. Yeah. You'd probably have to build your own. You could take this same chipset and put it on ESP32 with Ethernet if you wanted to. So it's just using the reset pin, the RX and TX to get to the chipset. So, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I'm like I say, I'm not a big like Zigbee fan or anything like that, but it works well. It works quick. If I can get my, yeah, so I blew this up, but I should have the read sensor. Yeah, here's the read sensor. Let's see. So it should be this Zigbee state here. Yeah, so it's pretty quick. So it doesn't have any issues. Now I'm probably blowing it away with being so close, but I did mess with it across the house, and I'm assuming it was going through something else with the mesh, and it was fine. Um, and I did even, let's see if I can find it. I had just to give it a shot. I had this little, if I'm saying it right, G-LED Opto or something like that. I'm sure it's going to blow out the camera once I turn the lights on. Yeah, I have a lot of 2.4. And I don't live in an apartment or anything, so no, I don't. Ron, you don't can't add another Zigbee bridge. What you would do is, because it builds the mesh, is you would add another Zigbee piece of software hardware that's as a router, such as that the Sonal S31 plug comes up. I noticed that whenever you're going to configuration, see, this is where I need those hot buttons. Just put me a Zigbee on the left. Yeah, whenever I clicked on it, I didn't. Let's see, Zigbee. Here it is, right here. You see how it comes up device type router? That means it'll route and make a mesh of, so it'll just kind of like stepping stones. And so the coordinator will send a message out. Well, it may hit that S31, and then it may get something else even further. So kind of like how Z-Wave is when it makes its mesh. And you'll notice like the read switches, like the read switch is battery powered. It says in device. In device, it's not going to do any routing because it's battery powered. So of course you don't, because it wants to sleep as much as it can. It doesn't need to be staying awake. So like for instance, this LED strip, well, it's also as a type of router. And you can also take one of like those little CC2531, if I'm saying it right, one of the little chipsets, you can actually flash those with router software and get like, and put like a little, and like 5 dBi antenna on it to get even better range if you're trying to make it even. Yeah, exactly. I do agree that repeater is definitely, I mean, because that's what it's doing. It's actually picking that thing up and handing it over. So, but yeah, I didn't have any issues doing like the, if I can get, I don't know why this browser is hanging up on me. I didn't have any issues doing like power strip, like the little LED strips or anything like that. And you can see it's pretty quick. So it's just a little LED strip I've had. Actually, I think I had this with when I was doing the Smart Things thing, and but it actually has five. It has warm white, cool white, and you can see it's pretty responsive through Zigbee. So yeah, so it's only the one coordinator that I don't know if they could build in the ability to do more than one. I just don't know. So, but so that's it about that guy. Have you played with WLED? I played with WLED last November, late last November. That was about it. Haven't played with it recently. I may possibly. I got to look at a bunch of things if I'm gonna do any type of Christmas light. I can't do anything. I don't want to. Not that I can't. I don't want to do anything permanent, other than like some small, nails or hooks or something like that. I don't want to mount anything permanent on the house. But that's my preference, and also the significant other's preference as well. Let's see. What else we were going to talk about? I don't know. What's up, Mohan? Thank you for joining us. So, I guess while we're in Tasmota, oh, and this is the case for it. If you hadn't seen the case, it's just a simple, it looks like the Sonal RF case. Just a simple little case. There's no wires, and it just has the little regular USB port on it. So, yeah, but I'm kind of picky too. I don't want strips or anything or lights hanging. I don't know. I'm looking at a few things to see if I can do something where I don't see it. So I'm kind of picky on that aspect, but. So is everybody? I know I talked about the jig. Where's the other one? I know I had another one here. There was another version of the jig that someone, and I forget his name. He shared it on the comments. He shared it on the comments. Will have me click on your solution. Oh, you got those the clips. Man, I recognize that little icon there. Yeah, I know. I'm just being a idiot or smart. See, that's not too bad. Hey, I appreciate it, Rick. Thank you, sir. And thanks for the donation, and thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm thinking if I had to do something where it would be, my problem is if I had something that would face down. What I was thinking actually was something, and I know I'm over engineering it probably. Something that would be right in here, and that I could flip it down. And but then I could flip it up when I'm not needed. Because if I flipped it up, I probably wouldn't notice it too much. And the only problem is that the trim and all the house is gray, and so it's kind of a pain to find something that's gray. Yeah, but I don't know if the aluminum would definitely hold up. I'd probably have to sand it so it wouldn't be as shiny and reflective. So, yeah, the black probably wouldn't be too bad, but I would have to do something where I'd put it in the middle down through here, and then I would want to flip it down, because I know I have tested. I really want to have it facing the street, and because really I've just the opposite when I put LEDs under the bed. You want indirect or direct lighting. I did find it was better this way. So, but if I could flip it up, that would be cool. Because see right here, it's all brick right here, and that would definitely show it because the brick is all like multicolored and stuff like that. So, I don't know if I have a picture of mine, but I want to see if I could find clear. I gotta ask my plumber buddy of mine. It's clear. It's almost like a clear opaque, almost PVC. So I wanted to see if I could find some of that, and then it would definitely withstand the weather, and it would stay in there. And I probably wouldn't notice it a whole lot, and I could just mount it in the middle. What I'm kind of thinking of. So yeah, it's like PEX. I got a brother-in-law. He's a plumber, and it's like PEX, but it's like a clear. It's almost clear, the clear opaque color, and it's a really cool diffuser. So what's up, Mac? So, so maybe eventually I'll get to there. I just gotta find something, but I know time's gonna run out on me quick. But it's definitely way too hot right now for me to go installing stuff outside. I am not climbing in the attic right now. That's just like, as someone said before, it's like Satan's crack of hell going up there right now. So I found there was another, yeah, it took me a little bit. She doesn't like it too crazy on the LEDs. If it's some, yeah, I'll zoom in. I'll bring it down, Seth. If I keep the animations low key, like a lot of solid colors, that flies. So, which image, Seth? I know there's a delay. This image or the camera image, Seth? Will it let me? Here, let's try and zoom it this way. Nope. Let's do this. Nope, it's gonna say the damn thing. Can we copy the image? I guess it doesn't let me copy the image. Look here. Look, we'll fix this. There's always a way. I'm sure it's not gonna keep the quality. Let's see. Over here to let's just call it Will. I'm dragging everything around. What did I drag around? The alert box. All right, let's try this. By that time, Will could have sent me the picture on Discord, and he probably already did. So that's the clip right there. You can see, I know I'm getting it, and just, we need the CSI guys to come in here and clean up the pixels and make it ultra zoom. So yeah, that's the clips. You can see it slides in on that piece of frame. And yeah, I figured I'd pick on you a little bit, Will. And you can see that it looks like this piece slides in here. And then this holds the LED strip, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, enhance. Yeah. So I'm sure Will share something in Discord. I'm sure there's another way I can get these pictures off of here. That looks cool, Will. Yeah, see, it's not too bad. But see, you got that light trim. It kind of blends in. So you probably definitely don't notice it. And the problem is I'm gonna be looking for it because I know it's there. So. Yeah, because last year I just did. Let me see if I can find. I'll find the picture of it if you want. Last year, all I did was I had a bunch of strands, and let me find my photo. This, I think it was November. Yeah, that's not going to be the title of this live stream forever, Bobby. That's just me goofing off with everything as a rib. Um, I just wanted to. I don't know if you can say kind of click, but I'm not gonna leave it as that title. Um, if I can find my picture. No. All I did is I took a Node MCU and some 12 volt um, strands of lights. You know, like not the strips, but the actual like Christmas light strands. And I just hook it straight up to the Node MCU and let the Node MCU run off 12 volts. And just I plugged it in, it all worked. I just let it eat. I didn't do any type of resistors or boards or nothing. I just ran it all 12 volts. It was really simple setup. If I can find the picture of it. The 5,000 pictures. Yeah, here it is. Shoot. Yeah, so I just took, that's just a Node MCU sitting in there, and then 12 volt power supply, and then 12 volt strands. And I just hooked the 12 volt strands. I used this little, I don't know, we call it terminal bar or whatever. And I used some DuPont jumper wires off the Node MCU. And you can see, right, look, they just come straight out and go straight into the bolt, into the lights, and that's it. So, and it worked great. Um, let's see. We did like a couple little trees of them or whatever. Um, yeah, I did order a couple of those Dig Unos from Doc, and just to see kind of what all the fuss was about. And I'm trying to find the end of what I did. I know I have it here. I had it in end of one of the videos somewhere. Yeah, so this is what I did. This is kind of like, it's just kind of real simple. What I did last year. And just a little 9-second loop. And just ran it off that 12 volt power supply and called it a day. So. But that was just, I want to say I was using two. I think I did two Node MCUs, I believe, if I remember correctly. Because I think this is one. No, it was four. I think I did four. Because it was one ran this piece here, one ran this piece here. I tried doing two, but the segment thing in WLEG was so buggy for me. It would stop working and stuff, and it would mess up, and I just finally gave up and said to hell with it. I have two more Node MCUs and threw it in there. So, but I did another one. I had a fifth one on the Christmas tree in the living room, and I just had that going regular. So, but I kept it simple and low key, and I know a lot of people. Here's the thing. I know we have this I've seen it, not a debate, but I've seen the debate when people always ask, "Oh wait, you can run a Node MCU at 12 volts?" Let's see if we can find one that has a higher resolution pick. I'm not going to be able to find one. You can kind of see it, but check your Node MCU. If like this one, you can kind of make it out. It's hard to make out, but the power regulator is an AMS 1117. Well, if you check the data sheet for the AMS 1117, you'll notice right here, input voltage 15 volts. And then they even talk about it being, if you feed it, now let me zoom in. They even talk about feeding it 12 volts right here. So it for that power regulator. Yeah. I fed them and let them eat at 12 volts. So now do not feed the Wemo's little D1 minis. Don't feed those 12 volts unless you want the magic to come out, the magic smoke. I wouldn't feed those 12 volts. So, but do check like there may be. I'll always check make sure the regulator has, because they may have the clones and all the different boards and dev boards. Make sure that you do have the correct that little correct power regulator. And I wasn't feeding any sensors or craziness off of it, letting it hang off of it. I was just putting just the lights off of it. So what's Will got me clicking on? Oh, that's cool. Okay. So it just kind of looks like just plugs in your VCC ground and signal. Okay, that's cool. I like simple. Just give me something simple and I can that I already have and call it a day. Yeah, I've got several ESPO ones as well. So where is I tried that other jig that I know there's another guy in Ademo, how you say his name, was trying to do another jig with DuPont jumpers. And there was another one that someone else mixed up and they modified it to be shorter than the other jig because those pins, they're out of stock. And so I did print one, but of course I couldn't find the exact pins to use, but I found it was a little bit better for me. And this is the little jig, the TYWE3S. And this was the original one that I did that video on. And you'll notice the size of the pins here and the difference on the height. And one thing I did find that those pins, and I have to find out which ones I ordered, but they're a little bit too big because I really have to jam them through the holes to get them to go. But you can see it's that since these had that conical head, I think they call it, and I probably butchered the name on that too, but they do go down on the chip, and I am putting this backwards, so don't do like me. RX and TX is up to the top right, but it makes it a little easier with those heads to go down on that little Tuya module. So, but I thought it was kind of neat. I went through it. Someone else made another jig for it. So, oh, you got a bag of the 100, the longer, but couldn't get them to go through the holes in the other jig. In this one, I actually had the other issue is because I've still been getting a couple requests here and there of people wanting these to be printed, and I ran out of PLA that I had. I think that came with my Prusa, and it printed them really well. I switched over to Hatchbox and kept the same settings of PLA. And I did notice that these pins go in a little bit easier, and they still stay in. I had one. This actually might be the one where, well, it's staying in now. I had one. You can see it's on this one. It's really really loose on the this is the power, but it would be fine. I think if you really bump it, see, it'll fall out. I don't like that. So it was just this one for some reason, the way it printed, I don't know why. But the other ones have been seeming to catch on the other holes. So yeah, Mac, that would be awesome if they would definitely sell them, like you could just pick as an option. I know there was a guy on one of the previous, maybe in the last one or the one before. I only seem to do these like once every 3 or 4 weeks. Um, yeah, I'll link that smaller one. Is the guy? I think he ordered a bunch of bulbs or something. He ordered a bunch of bulbs from Zimmy Smart, a bunch of downlights. That's what it was, and he made some firmware that would do aging, where it would automatically they plugged it in, and it would hit all the color channels for like I don't know a couple minutes a piece, and that way they could do their quality control test and test all the different color lights on the products. So they loaded his version of Tasmota on all the Zimmy Smart downlights for him. I don't know how many he ordered though. So yeah, that was kind of my thought at first. I just kind of kept this one to be mine. Is just to put a little bit of super glue. You don't do anything crazy, just a little dab there, and it would make them stay in. But like this one, I bought some pins that were way too big, and like I've got to take a pair of pliers and push them through the hole to make them fit in this little guy here. So and I've only printed a couple of these just to see how they are, but I guess just the holes need to be opened up. But I did find they made the guy who did this one. What's his name? Get the shirt at the top. Net 813. He did make. Looks like he made the walls a little thicker on the jig itself. So, but kind of cool thing. It's definitely made me lazy for wanting to do some of the. I flashed a bunch of Treat Life three-way switches with it, and I just because they had firmware was blocked on them. But so who was asked? Was it Rasby? He wanted to ask about something that was make you break out your wallet, and I will say this is it's way too well. They've lowered the price a little bit on this guy. I'll show you it here. This is I'll drag it over here. Well, we'll just throw it in here. Yeah, don't buy this just yet. So they did lower the price. I gotta get my screen back so I can see what I'm seeing here and turn this off. They did lower the price on it. I think it was like $179 or something like that. To me, it's a little bit too expensive right now, and I haven't gotten it outside to see exactly. But it does. I know probably asking. The reason we were talking in Discord about someone it was BK 101, I think it was. He was asking about, hey, is there any floodlight cameras out there? I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but does it have RTSP? Well, of course, Ring and all the other ones don't have RTSP. So I think the next day I saw Amcrest had this one. It came out, and I was like, oh, this is junk. This is junk. And then, well, of course, I scrolled down here, and what caught my eye was, and you can see it's on this column. It actually said Blue Iris and third party using RTSP. And I was like, whoa, really? Okay. So here we are. Oh, it had the 50. I have to sleep on it if I spend over 50. Yeah, this one's definitely 50. The price is too high, I think, for me. And I haven't, like I say, I haven't gotten it outside yet, but and this thing is freaking massive. They reviewed the Amcrest again versus the Ring version. we're not gonna be typing. What was it? What they were talking about? The have anybody used no bread? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you how massive this thing is. It won't even fit on my desk really. This thing is massive, and I mean, I do have it. I'm putting it right by the side of my face. I know I have a big head, but still, this thing is freaking massive. Well, I don't know what other. Here, here's something I know everybody, not most people know relations of. This is a simple. Let's just put it right here on the side of it. If I can get it on the camera right. This is a simple smart switch on the side. You standard Decora smart switch. No, I don't have any bananas. I got some apples. Bananas just go bad too quickly. So this is a standard smart switch on the side. So that's you can kind of see the light. The lights is the height of, and this thing's just massive. It is pretty bright. The lighting is more of a warm white light. I would have preferred more of a cool white for outdoors at night. That's what I have in the backyard. And so I figured I see how it works out. And but it does have, I don't know if I can get it does see the big old camera. But it does have, I'll just do it here. Is this the LEDs on the side does have a camera. I want to say there's an SD card. I haven't taken it apart yet. I haven't powered it up really, except just seeing if it worked. But I think there's an SD card inside here, an SD card slot you can do. And it does have this big massive PIR on the bottom. And it does do, I did play around with a little bit I didn't bring it into Blue Iris yet, but it does have, I did do it with VLC, with RTSP, and it does have H.265. I didn't see any option to do H.264, and one thing I did, now it does come into the same little Amcrest Smart Home app, if you will, the one that they use for the smart doorbells. And you can set all the settings and stuff in there, and you can do the schedule of the light and all that. And it did work fine. I haven't put it outside yet. So I'm kind of curious to see how it works on motion outside. And it does have like a two-way speaker. No, Mac, that's designed for mains power. So you're not going to see something like mains and then Ethernet. It's designed for the market where now. It's designed for the market where someone will go and just wants to replace a floodlight and get a camera. And they're not all into being able to run. I'll drag this one back. They're not able to run all, like Ethernet cables and doing power over Ethernet. I know a lot of us are able to do stuff like that. And so it is just 1080p. But so yeah, if you have the ability to run, no, I didn't see any Ethernet on it at all. The only thing that's on it is on the back of it. The only thing that's on it is neutral, hot, and then ground, and that's it. So I did check it. Don't quote me on this. I want to say it was when it was on, it was pulling around 25 watts, and it was pretty bright. But yeah, it's more designed for it. And I did notice it was connecting on the Wi-Fi at I want to say it was not the regular 72 megabit. I want to say it was like 150 megabit it was connecting. Yeah, so it's designed for the market where Joe Schmo just wants to replace a floodlight, plug it in, turn it on, and it comes into their Wi-Fi, and boom, they got a camera on the outside of their house. Now, for people that can go with they can do their own power over Ethernet cameras, and they can do, put in their own little floodlights. I would definitely go with just do separate. Because like one of the things on there, of course, those lights are not detachable. Well, they are, I guess, if you really want to get down to it. But What if the LED goes down on one side? What do you do? Now you're stuck with a $170 camera that doesn't have any lights, and there's no IR on it because it turns on. I don't think there's IR on it. Don't quote me on that. Haven't played with that. I think that uses the lights of the floodlight to light up the camera stuff. So, um, yeah. So if you can run your own thing, I would do something like, um, get one of these cameras. They're pretty cheap. They're $60. Oh, there is IR. Okay. Um, this is probably I did that one review on it. On this camera here. This is probably one of my go-to cameras for budget now, and because not everybody needs 4K, and this one has that killer freaking night vision. And like I say, it's only like $60 right now. And I haven't done it yet. I will soon. They do have a way to, you can flash the Dahua, or if I said it right, I probably screwed up again. Um, you can flash the Dahua version of firmware on it, and you can get the trip sensor, the trip wire sensor, and a couple other things on this exact camera. So it definitely opens things up. If you haven't seen what the difference is, I'm sure I got the picture somewhere. I know I was blown away with that camera, night vision. Crest. They do make another one that's 4K. I think it's out of stock though. And it has the kind of the same tight looking lens, but it's out of stock. It looks kind of like this one, but it's analog. All right, Nick, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's out of stock right now. I have two of them, and they're pretty good. They're 4K, but they also had that same crazy night vision. Let's see. Amcrest. Where is my Rio Link? Night, no IR. Oh, that's night. I want day, color, no IR. So this is the real. This, if you haven't seen the video, I show this. This is the Rio Link camera in color mode at night, and you can see there's no IR out here, and other than I guess what would be by the street lights or whatever. But then when you put on the Amcrest, that one is the Amcrest 5 megapixel at night in color vision. Huge difference. That's just absolutely nuts. The Starlight. Yeah, exactly. I was really blown away when I fired it up. So you got me thinking. I just went and set this up. I think I screwed up in that video. I want to pull up the address for it. I think I had it in night mode in the backyard. And then when I took it in the front, I changed it to color mode. And I'm trying looking for the IP address on my router of that camera. 139. And I'll bring it up on the other side once I get it over there. Yeah, I got like a bunch of cameras in there though. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it here live. Let me turn off the night. I want to see what it's going to do if we change it. Day and night. Let's do mode, color. Ah, yeah. I didn't have it set right, but still, it's not as dark. It is very dark back there. So, um, yeah, it's I did have it in black and white, I believe, then, but it's well now it's gonna flip it back over to night mode. So, but yeah, so it if you do have some light, this is that 5 megapixel camera. I set my little board back up because I was playing with another camera. Um, I don't know why it said it. Maybe I should hit the save button, Travis. Let's see. Exposure. We're going to turn the off. And I wonder if you could turn up the wide dynamic range. It may help. No, it's not going to. I wonder if backlight would help. Nope. Not going to. Yeah, it is very dark back there. This is very deceiving. This light is way back there. Um, what I'm messing with, if you want curious, 141. If I remember I think I just left it default. I think, yep. And stupid flash is still required. But this is the RLC 522. I don't even know the price on that. This is this one. What's oh, this is, so you gotta watch this add-on thing. Don't ever buy the add-ons. The add-ons, you have to use their NVR. There was actually a cool article about a guy who hacked the reverse engineer the protocol on that. Yeah, it's got optical zoom on it, but it's a little expensive for me. But I've already got a nice spider web on it. It's got optical zoom on it, and it's got this loud. I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of funny. Now, if you can hear it on the mic, I'll turn the speakers up. It's trying to focus right now. Oh, it can't focus. That's funny. Yeah, look, let's see. You can hear the crickets. I should record that for sound effect, right? No copyright. Let's see. I did turn the speakers way up. And it's not that loud like when you're standing next to it. It's funny. But let me turn that down if I get blasted or something. Yeah, but like watch if I turn this guy. Image, where's advanced? If I turn this one LED light off and hit save, and then we'll do, now see, that's picking up IR from other camera. That's not fair. Day, night, we'll do color. Let's see how the difference. Yeah. You can still see there's a big difference. I mean, look, that like this one pulls out this, and then, I mean, that one pulls out that. So Louisiana ASMR. It's like my Switch ASMR video we did the other day. Yeah, so that's still crazy. That's still crazy that this is a decent camera, but this is it, during color mode, and this is it during color mode. So it's pretty cool that you can get that camera. And I did see they had like some coupons at once, like for like early July. They were selling for like, I want to say it was like $10 less, or like $50. So, and I know Mac was talking about being able to get those on AliExpress. And I guess it was, I'm gonna copy him. Let's see if we can find his. Now I got crickets in my ears. me close all these. See if we can find that camera. There it is. That's on their website, though. You said AliExpress has them? Let's see how much they are on eBay. I don't know if it's the same. Looks like they got TM. Yeah, so you can see it's like the same camera. So you can see why. You can see why the. Let me see if I still have it up. Nope. Let me go back to it. Amcrest 5MP. Because Amcrest is a they do the same. You can see it's like the same camera. It's just they're just a rebrand of them. So that's why you can put that firmware on them. So I will do that eventually on mine, but other than that, that's about it. Didn't mean to go into cameras, but I thought it'd be funny to show that that big massive camera. So anybody got any questions? Tasmota questions? I know a guy who knows a little bit about Tasmota and rules and switches and buttons and stuff and group topics. I know we seem to go over a lot of different stuff, and I did put down here, I know we were talking about doing we always talked about doing the clicks of the switches. And I did a little short unlisted video, and we were talking about on Discord the different clickiness of switches and like what the difference were, and like this one like it was like, yeah, this is the Go Sun, and so I put several here in case anybody wanted to know about switches or anything, but we don't have to. It's just up to you. You know why the Tasmota new release is late? I can, if I had my guesses, they've been tied up in the Zigbee stuff, the Zigbee bridge, and the Zigbee 2 game. Actually, I do have one of those. Why? Did you get that thing flashed? Or did you come over here and listen to me ramble on and on about Zigbee and cameras and night vision and stuff? And I forgot what I was pulling up. Yeah, because I was looking in the that's a common issue, Mac. So I'm looking at several of the different. Let me get this out of the way because otherwise it's going to mix all up and everything. You'll notice a lot of the stuff has been about Zigbee bridge, Zigbee bridge, Zigbee bridge, ZB bridge, Zigbee bridge. This is Zigbee 2. Everything, a lot of the commits have been about that. So I think just my guess is, and I know there's this proof of concept, that's the X modem upload. And I'm thinking that once they get the Zigbee bridge stuff down, I could see that going to a full release. So, but, so you got the 2.5s, and oh yeah, the Wagos. You can see I have just Wagos. I go look on switches and find my 3-pin Wagos, and I usually have several on the desk as well that I always have handy. But to check SLS Zigbee Gateway on GitHub. You got a link for if. Let's just see if we can Google that. Or is that a bad thing to Google? Here we go. So what is this one? The gateway is based on the controller ESP32, tandem of chips, the C amplifier and C. Yeah, I'm just picking with you, Mac. Don't always take me serious. So I wonder. So here's the hardware. That looks cool. Looks very similar to. Yeah, I'll put the link out for people to go check out. It's got a lot to digest. I'll definitely leave that tab open to go dig through and see what is all. Oh, integration into Home Assistant. Does it go straight into? The software can be used together. You can use Discovery. Okay. Yeah, see, this is some of the stuff that I liked, and not bashing this one at all, is I like to see that I didn't have to do a lot of this and could just bring it natively into Home Assistant using that socket. So I thought that was kind of neat, because I know some of the new people, especially if you start talking about, I mean, look at some of the, I know this is cool, but you start to show people some of this stuff and their eyes just want to glaze over. Because they are looking for something that they just, because they're used to how so much has changed to the GUI based in Home Assistant. I just want to hit the add button and boom and go. I mean, even showing them how to do some of the stuff with Tasmota, some of the the eyes glaze over, even though it's really worth it. But so I definitely want to I want to look into this and see what's all there, and possibly maybe they could do something like with that socket as well, like they did. So that would be pretty cool. What is a CR6 SE? Well, and how many printers do you have, or should I ask? Self-leveling. So how is it? Look, man, it's $33,000. And you can afford that, Will? No, I'm picking. Three enders, one extra. Yeah. They're still printing stuff for the COVID stuff? I haven't seen them doing that. I saw some of the groups here in my area doing it for a month or two, but they stopped doing that stuff. I guess different supply channels have caught up. The next master coming this week, there are a lot of adjustments under the hood. Yeah, Zigbee and some minor features took a lot of time testing. Oh, so you put your Tuya MCU and discuss. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be when they stopped. I stopped hearing about it, and I was watching some of it in some of the Reddit local groups and stuff like that. Some of them, and they were doing really good on through March and April. But it seemed like during May it just kind of went slacked off. I guess when we hit phase 2 in this area, it really slacked off. So. CR6, I definitely have to look at that. My other one's still kicking. So what else we got for we have to jet? I do have work in the morning, and it is almost 10 o'clock for me. So, about an hour and a half, which isn't too bad. I didn't have anything else crazy to talk about. I'm just looking, making sure. And nothing else crazy going on. Software wise, nothing has really broke on me. I haven't. I guess one question I want to see is, I know they had all this stuff for um, stream. Did you? Yeah, yeah, definitely smash the. I'm gonna change the name and I'm gonna change the thumbnail. I was just goofing off with you guys. Um, um, so yeah, I have you seen any? I haven't compared the difference on a Pi, like a Pi 4 for the automation stuff. And I don't do a lot of automations in Home Assistant itself, so I kind of skip through that because I always do Node Red. But that the speed optimization kind of caught my eye. So, but for the new one, um, Florida will switch will what's FL will switches AD. Yeah, I'll leave it to him for the automations because I don't do YAML automations. I messed up on that. I learned Node Red first and I can't go back. So it kind of shifted the way things. I have a few automations in YAML, but it's like maybe 3 or 4. But I just like the whole visual stuff of being able to drag bubbles around and not have to worry about syntax and tabbing and how do you spell something. And that got to drive me nuts. So. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the switches in, yeah, they should. They should, and a reason why I do like the Visual Logic, I did a lot of software with business process management that was from the same way. You built a map of where the process was going to go. So it just kind of made sense to me to go that way. Um, which switches? I guess I'm confused. Oh, with the I know someone else was having an issue with. I haven't tried this. There was one issue I had. That's the last thing I probably had right before I have to go. And if I blow this one up, I'll blow it up. Is in MQTT, and I've had this with people, if they added MQTT integration, then and they unchecked or didn't check the box for auto discovery being on, the only way you could go put it in was to remove it or go edit the JSON, the storage folder, is that I could find. Now I saw they had this configure button because the only options you had system options, but that's not auto discovery. But they had configure, and then you had this option here of reconfigure MQTT. And does it have, so broker one username, see, and there's no way to turn on, I don't see it. Here it is. Oh, here it is right here. So good, they did add this. I was curious to see that you can, because some people would have this off and they would go, well, I did set option 19 and now my switches don't work. They won't come in. So of course they do have good deal. So I don't have to go tell people remove it and all this stuff. So, switch topic. I hadn't messed with switch topic in forever. Is the image for the Nook, or will it work with like a Nook-like device? I have not used. I don't have a Nook. I've used it on a regular computer. But I ended up just installing like Debian, and I did the supervised install, so I wouldn't have a locked down system. I could still SSH into it easily and stuff like that. Yeah, if you probably want to do something like Proxmox, if you have enough power to do Proxmox. Oh, so the MQTT and Alexa Color thing. I have the same issue as with the I want to say it, but the other voice assistant. is you tell it to turn a light white, even though you have a 5-channel light. Home Assistant sees it 5-channel, and maybe someone can tell me, hey, this is how you really, really fix it. You would think that if I configured like that power strip I just had that was 5-channel, because I unplugged it, so it's gonna. Did I unplug it? But you would think that if you told it, hey, turn bright white, it would slide the color temperature over to bright white and change it. But no, for some reason, Home Assistant sends over the RGB white. So, I'm trying to think if that would work on with the CC2. I don't think it does. That's the other way that I don't think I don't know about that. I don't know that question. If you can, that would be kind of cool if you could. I might have to see if it can. So if I say go to cool white, it just turns it. I haven't tried it in a while. Oh, so set it to 5,000K. Can you do that with? I'm gonna try it off the video. I'm not gonna be that guy and do this on the live stream and mess some other people saying the okay G word. So I don't have Alexa to test it out. So, but I must check that out. And also with that, I do have one of those CC2530s, and with doing Tasmota Zigbee, I don't know if it would work. So. Look at Will. Will is just being the voice of, let's see, we'll go ahead and hit mute, right? Dang it, I did the wrong light. Hold on. I see. It's not wanting to play with me. There we go. It got it to go right. I got one that did bright white, and I got a 4-channel that is they did RGB. And the LifeX went bright white as well. Yeah, and see my 4-channel ones are doing. I got some Zimmy Smart downlights. There's 3 of them over here, and it's doing RGB for those, which is weird. So now I've messed up all my lighting and everything, but whatever. I'm gonna turn this other light out. Did I got mute back off? Yeah. So it's definitely weird. Yeah, so that's what I end up doing in the rooms is I just had a fake light called the reset light in that room, and when I do reset light, it resets all the lights to bright white. So it's just like this hack that I don't know why we have to do that, but whatever. So what did I miss out while I was playing with all my lights? Somebody said they're fighting with their Pi 4. Hmm. Yeah, I have one, my son runs a Pi 4, and but yeah, if you have, um, I would definitely hit up Tollbringer. He's in Discord as well. He's like your go-to pro with doing Proxmox stuff. So He's definitely really good at it. Anyway. All right. We ain't got anything else. I'm going to jet on out of here. I got work in the morning. Get up in 6 hours or so. And trying to think if we have any other thing, nothing else crazy going on. And yeah, Whiskers is really good. He's that dude knows his stuff. So, all right, I appreciate y'all hanging out. I gotta go change a icon and go change a silly title.